Plug us in while we do that. Morning, everyone.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Hope you're all well. Apologies for the slow mode that I'm currently suffering from myself. I wrote a little good morning, folks, and then tried to write something else, and it was denied by YouTube. So I hope, you're all well, and you got plenty of golf over the weekend. I didn't manage to play myself, Matty boy. Were you golfing? What are you doing?
No, I was enjoying some leisure this weekend.
Some leisure.
Up at the cottage.
No golf for the boys this weekend, so we'll need to make up for that this week. Let's see who's in here this morning. Not too crowded this morning. Not too crowded. We'll give everyone a chance to catch up.
Whoop. That's good. For your speed.
We like a little bit of speed.
All right. Shall we?
We shall. Quick one on the slow mode. Dave saying he hates slow mode. I think it's an FYI that a lot of people don't even know. Our base bottom tier bronze tier membership, which is a monstrous $2 a month, removes slow mode.
It's one of the many features that it offers.
I'm going to sign up for it myself.
You should. I swear I made you an administrator. I know I did. You signed it from a different account.
I'm happy to contribute $2 a month because I think the boys do great work.
We'll split it.
A buck each.
That's hilarious. Okay. There's some ones here. I was going to answer this for Dave while I was setting up, but I forgot. So Dave's been offered a Graphite Design AD IZ 9X for his 3-wood. Driver swing speed 114 to 118. Okay. Concerned that the IZ 9X is too much shaft. Thoughts?
Yeah, there's every chance that could be the case. I mean, you're pretty quick. I would say if you are a really heavy loader, when we normally talk about heavy loaders, you know, the backswing being a little bit shorter, a really fast transition. David, that could be the case if you are a physically strapping gentleman and you know you need a little extra weight to manage your timing. That could also be pretty good for you. So, any of those things sound like you, then go for it. If not, probably dodge it.
Aye, lovely.
Well, Ben has got one there on OEM wedges versus higher end wedges.
Pull that up for Ben.
I know I was going to lead into talking of wedges.
Okay.
We have some protos that we're going to film with today.
Saw that.
But embargo lifts tomorrow. But I know they've broke their own embargo. Yeah, we'll leave it.
We always follow the rules. We
do. That's right. We're good boys.
That's right. We do that.
Okay.
What do you think about this, though? So we did Bettinardi's. You obviously have dabbled with some Miuras in the past. You've dabbled with all kinds of Japan spec stuff.
Yep.
What's the appeal of it? Is it the sort of exclusivity? Is it the forging? Is it the general sexiness?
Is
that how you would categorize the sexiness?
Well, I mean, I would say the sort of higher end Japanese stuff, obviously the premium part is the forging.
Right. That's the process that costs the money.
I would not be overly sort of conscious of investing in looking at forged wedges. I'd be looking at sort of what's the technology on the face, how well do they pay attention to CG progression, higher, generally further forward on the more lofted clubs in order to flight those wedges down a little bit.
The technology package, basically, more so than the forging?
Yeah, the milling, the micro milling between the grooves. I mean, you know, one thing to think of, right? And I don't know if you and I have talked about this, but I know I've spoke about it more recently. When you see a modern wedge and we hit a shot in the face, we used to see ball debris in the grooves.
Correct.
Now we see it between the grooves.
Yeah.
So it actually leaves like white kind of marks between the grooves. You don't actually see the ball inside the groove. That tells you where the friction is being achieved.
And it's better to have friction on the face itself versus inside of the groove?
Sort of, you know, probably both, but as the groove has been regulated, the milling between them is your opportunity to get a little bit more grip.
Gotcha.
So
because the grooves have maxed themselves out essentially.
So Ben, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say you're going to get higher performance out of some of those exotic wedges. I can talk in those Bettinardi's. They have milling and they have all that stuff on there.
Great wedge.
They are forged. If it was me and I was as a consumer, it came down to I would have no hesitation spending a little bit extra on those because they are so nice.
True.
It wouldn't bother me at all.
Just got to set your budget and decide.
Yes.
All right, you want to grab this one from Bobby?
Let's do it.
Bobby's buying a new set of irons, CB/MB combos. I'm assuming he means Titleist. Currently using S300s. What should I be making sure to test in my fitting? Hits his 7-iron about $170. So probably an iron shaft conversation. Give us kind of your couple favorites. Probably a longer, that's quite a bit longer than average, obviously, 170 7-iron.
Yeah, I mean, pretty decent. But I mean, to be honest, by today's standards, I kind of feel like everyone hits 7-iron 170 now.
It's now the new 150.
It's the new 150. It's exactly right. I always baselined the 7-iron for people at 150.
When I was a teenager, I was like, oh yeah, I hit my 7-iron 170. I hit it far. Or 150. I hit it far enough.
I know.
I hit it far enough.
So I would say for Bobby, shafts like, Project X 6.0 and 6.5. See how your weight preference is in there. It doesn't sound like you're a natural X Flex, Bobby. It sounds like you could be on the edge of between the two. So you've got those. You might want to also have a look at something like dynamic. Maybe you want to go a little bit lighter. Maybe do something like a DG Dynamic Gold 120. Also look at maybe something like a Modus 125. Obviously S300 you've been using heavy. Heavy and kind of soft is what that is.
True.
So I think I would try something a fraction lighter.
Gotcha. All right. I'm just going to keep going if you're good.
Go for it.
Ed is asking about his TaylorMade Tour Preferred MCs. 1.5 inch long, Project X 6.0. He likes them, but he wants to move on. Suggestions for heads and stiffer but not too heavy shafts. Okay. So TaylorMade MCs from 2014. There's a lot of good cavity backs this year.
Good cavities.
Many. Hard to go wrong, really.
You've got Mizuno MMC. You could stay in the TaylorMade family and look at the 760s. I think this week was pretty much a dead giveaway with the TaylorMade guys wearing the iron symbol for the T.
Saw that.
That they are starting to focus on the irons, so there's every chance a new one might be on the horizon.
Fall or so, maybe?
Yeah, I would expect so.
Lovely.
I would say, obviously, we talk about a lot on here about Strix and Ed, so maybe 785s would be quite a nice one for you as well. So I think between those, you've got a few really nice options. Shaft-wise, you can obviously always stick in your Project X. It's still a really popular shaft. You've got Modus 120s. Modus 120 is a little bit lighter than Project X 6.0 by about 5 grams. So if you are playing the clubs 1.5 inches over length, maybe factor that in there as well. Factor in what grip size you play. Grip size you play, so whether it's a 50-gram grip or if it's oversized, it might be a bit heavier.
Yep.
You might need to offset the additional weight.
Gotcha. Here's a quick good one. What driver would you say is the most stable? The most stable?
Sorry, David just caught my attention there. Thanks for the IZ feedback. I'm 6'4", 18 stone. That's a big lad.
What is 18 stone?
18 stone is about 250-ish pounds, give or take a few.
It's a solid lad.
So yeah, wouldn't be a problem then.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
It's most stable driver for you
what
in fittings.
What would be the most stable driver? Ping G410.
G410, standard.
As a general rule of thumb, now that's without knowing anything. The one that's most stable is the one we can establish the best face, horizontal and vertical face sort of angle.
Gotcha.
So if we're trying to create stability, we're trying to create a very tight face to path relationship. We don't want those two opposing one another. If you're 7 degrees out to in, we don't want the face wide open. We want the face fractionally close to the target but open to the path.
Right.
That for me is how I create stability.
Gotcha.
By creating those two things, and obviously a good strike.
Lovely. All right. Troy. Actually, grab one from the president first.
Well, I saw Zachary's put in a couple of times here. Ian, will you be doing an updated truss putter review?
I knew there'd be some chatter on that. Didn't I say to you when we were there, I'm like, if someone wins with that, people will start being
Do you know
curious.
what? So on one of the, I can't remember when it was, recently anyway, I saw someone had left a comment on our truss video saying, this video hasn't aged well or something like that.
Yeah.
I went looking for him last night.
Where's that comment?
I went looking for him, deleted it.
It's aged fine.
No longer there. But it's always the way, isn't it?
I
Like,
know.
if somebody comes out and, like, how many people have used truss? A couple. Right? So for the amount of people who've used it, now someone's got a win with it.
Yeah.
Chances are probably a few. I mean, that's how Spider came about.
Yeah, because everyone was afraid, I don't want to be seen with that spider.
Absolutely.
I'm like a dummy, blah, blah, blah. And now everyone uses a spider.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll be quite, I bet TaylorMade's relieved.
No.
I bet they're very relieved that someone won with it.
You know, I think the whole truss concept, again, it divides the crowd, and, you know, I know we've not done great with it in here.
No one's really buying them, yeah.
No one's really kind of buying into it. So, you know, I'm not sure it is going to take off, but I think when DJ putted unbelievable yesterday, he's going to get people's attention.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. And then maybe the next version of it is a little more visually less shocking to people. Perhaps.
I just hope people are going to be open-minded. We need a... oh, look, Stevens, 18 stone is 252. So
human conversion.
It's quite close.
Okay, sorry. Back to Troy's. Troy's asking, how do you go about 5-wood fitting? Seems too important of a club to just base off a 3-wood. Agree with that. Any 5-wood laugh shanks. Shanks. Man, I'm asleep today. I drank way too much this weekend, honestly. Any 5-wood length shafts in your matrix?
Yep, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
So that's a good question. So like when you're fitting, I get like often people will get a 3 and 5 wood, but here you don't just go, okay, that 3-wood's good. Here's the 19 degree.
No.
So the 5-wood is meant, like, what do you do with it? Do you try to gap it basically between the longest
You try and
iron?
gap it with the adjustability that's available to us now. We try and gap it. We look to see whether the same head and same shaft falling on from 3-wood, whether that works.
Yeah.
And if it's a seamless transition, why wouldn't you go in that direction? But if it doesn't give you the right results, then you go looking. You know, like every other club in the bag, you optimize it individually.
Absolutely.
So we have 5-wood. To be honest, I mean, I've seen myself in a scenario where I'm just like, I'm going to go cut this shaft. You know, I'll take the shaft off the wall and just go buzz it, and
I'll replace it another time if I need to.
another time. Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. Question, Troy. 5-wood is a good option for many a person. David, I don't quite know what this means. What drives... Okay, sorry. What drives the need, as in what requires the need for heavier, lighter shaft weight? So basically, how do you use weight in your fittings for the shaft?
It's all timing. So you know, if we feel like we can create a better balance of timing and speed, a more consistent delivery, often driven by strike point, our ability to create higher ball speed, those types of things. So normally in any given fit, we'll test two weight ranges, maybe 50 and 60, maybe 60 and 70. We'll kind of, you know, see either side so we can at least learn which one is good and which one is not good, and that way we can do that process.
Do you do that pretty early? Like, do you go, I need to find out what 100%. Weight category this person's
Within the first 15 shots, we're really kind of poking and prodding at someone to go, okay, here's what you react well to, here's what you react badly to. And it's just like a filter system. So just, okay, we know it's not 70 gram. We know it's not X-Flex, it's stiff. So 65 grams stiff. Is it 9 degree or is it 10.5? Okay, much better with 9. Is it open? Okay, yeah, open's much better. And then we're filtering out all the things we don't need.
Right.
And then we just get very, very narrow for the last sort of 40 minutes.
Makes sense.
Just dialing it in.
Makes sense. I'm going to welcome a couple new members.
Love it. Welcome, new members.
Welcome, Stuart. Welcome, Stuart. And Andrew.
Welcome, Stuart and Andrew.
Welcome.
Stu and Andy.
Stu and Andy.
Now you're part of the family.
Yeah, we just met you, but Stu and Andy. Okay, from, I had a good one here. Isaac, do taller players generally have more upright lie angles with irons, I'm assuming, wedges?
Yes. Yes, generally speaking.
Generally speaking, they require it because they require a longer shaft, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The shaft also sits a little bit more vertical, which drops the toe down a little bit as well.
William's asking, thoughts on the new Aldila Rip X shaft? Is that the one that we saw in California? We haven't tested it yet.
No, we have not
So we
tested it
will,
yet.
but we haven't tested it yet, bud.
Yeah.
And any experience with the Japan Forge Grindworks 86 series wedges?
Never heard of them.
I saw Mikey build some kind of Japan spec wedge the other day, but I don't think it was those. I saw some kind of Titleist thing in there, but
Oh, that was the
That was something
Titleist
else.
cold forged.
cold forged.
Cold forged.
Cold pressed juice.
Aye.
Yeah, William, sorry, bud, we're not a big help on those two. We will test that Aldo Rip-X shaft, though. I'm sure that the boys can send us some. What?
Andrew said, anything but Andy. Apologies, Andrew.
Sorry, Andrew.
Apologies.
It's funny how certain things are just not
What do
people's
you-
favorites.
Were you christened Matt or you're Matthew?
No one calls me Matthew.
But you are Matthew.
That's my name.
Yeah.
It is my name, yeah. Legally, it is my name. I don't think anyone's called me Matthew
If
unless they
your
don't know me at all.
mother's upset with you, are you still Matt? Matthew!
My mother hasn't been upset with me in a long time,
Is
to
that
be honest
right?
with you. That's good. My grandmother called me Matthew at one point, but yeah, it was usually like, you've done something wrong, Matthew. You are a disappointment. Not just joking. I wasn't a disappointment.
Ever.
I'm sure
Model
I'm
child.
sure at times I was a big disappointment. Okay.
I got a couple here. Currently playing from Daryl. Currently playing a UST Pro Force V2 in my M5. Looking to upgrade the shaft. Swinging at 105 to 110. Any recommendations? Daryl, I would say, my man, you're in an F5, so obviously you're playing X-Flex. I don't think you're a natural X-Flex at 105 to 110. Normally 110 is what you have seen as a peak, but 1.5 is maybe a little bit closer. That's generally what I see. So try something like maybe something like a Tensei White 6X, something along those lines. V2s were generally, something for the heavier loaders amongst us. So something like that. What else have we got up there? You could, if you wanted to get a little bit on the exotica side, you could try something like a little Ventus Blue 6X as well. Be a
Lovely.
nice one.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Getting a couple people saying they can't see you because you're wearing camouflage. Ian is invisible.
Where is he?
He's blending in.
No,
He's just
to
a
be
floating
honest,
head.
I thought I might take some abuse because I'm wearing a green shirt.
Yeah, it's a foresty green, though. I think it's okay, right?
The season's done. I'll wear
Soccer
green.
season's
Yeah,
over.
it's done. Well, every other season's done, but they cut the Scottish season early and gave the title to Celtic as a gift.
Did they do that?
As a gift.
No playoffs?
Nothing.
Why don't they just wait?
England, Spain, Italy, where the Corona was at its absolute worst,
Yeah.
resumed their seasons.
mother.
Scotland, we'll just stop because we just gave the title to Celtic. Horrendous.
That is bad. Could the UPS guy be any grumpier, honestly? God forbid we inconvenience you, UPS guy. I see a couple messages saying that bronze
Thank
wasn't
you.
removing slow-mo.
You
Guys,
too.
I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I will look into it after the stream. It should. It really should. It will still say slow-mo, but you should be able to still send a message. But if that is the case, I promise you I will fix it by next week. And those that just joined, including Dave and others, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mark, also welcome for you, Mark. And many others that I may have missed, but I am welcoming you as well.
So a quick jump in
Yeah, go
back
for
in
it.
there. John Kay gave the title, but Celtic were winning it anyway. John, that's not the point. They were still giving it.
I know.
You
You
never
can't
know.
do that stuff.
You never know.
You know what that's like? That's kind of like when the last day of a tournament's rained out and they just give it to somebody, like on the PGA Tour. It's only happened like
Strong.
once or twice, but it's just
Strong.
Okay, Andy. This person is okay being called Andy because
Hey,
he
Andy.
put his name as Andy. Is there a standout 3 or 4 hybrid that is straight, meaning I'm assuming square?
Titleist
interest?
TS3.
Okay, Titleist TS3. Also, please explain what happens to hybrid and wood faces when you loft up and down.
Depends on the manufacturer.
Okay. Generally
Some-
speaking,
Some will tilt the head, such as Callaway and Titleist. Some will have angles the head sits at that are
Yep.
different. Most of them, they will rotate the head around a single axis sleeve,
Gotcha.
which is where the kind of the lie angle. So neutral is the flattest angle, and everything sort of offset from that goes more upright and rotates, either open or closed.
Lovely. What time we got here? 10:25. Okay.
Yeah.
It will soon be time to not add questions. Not quite yet. Throw a few more in. Sprinkle a couple in there. Any news on the JPX or whatever released from Mizuno? We are talking to Chris Vishal later, but we don't currently have any news. So if you want to know, we don't know.
Yes.
We will know, but we don't know. Pop
Robert Rudolph. Did someone say Honma, 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 Honma?
No.
Can you please do it? No, no one said that.
No one.
Can you please do a test of the TR20 irons and driver? I'm
watching that. Spit my drink out. It's always great to see what you're doing once, twice, three times.
The irons are down with Mikey. He just needs to get his Club Connects pieces on there.
What are you drinking this weekend?
No, I should have been maybe. Let's level me out.
Lovely. We must be getting to a point where they almost have lefty TR20s coming in, eh? Remember we were talking about that? We're like, oh, there's no lefties coming for months. It's like, well, it's been months now.
Tech Mark B, what is a fitting cost? I'm sure it varies on what you end up buying.
Not here.
It doesn't vary a bit based on what you end up buying. The fitting fee is the fitting fee, and it will always be the fitting fee.
TXG.ca, Mark.
TXG.ca, it's all there. Tech Mark B.
From Mr. Hardy, morning gents. Here's a couple bucks for a cheeky brew or a coffee. Thank you.
Cheers.
We're having a cheeky, weird energy drink, but we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always appreciate it.
We always do.
This is a good one. Robert is asking about Motore F3 having higher torque rating. Give us your 60-second torque rating spiel, because torque is not what people think it is.
I think people think that torque being higher or the torque being higher or the torque being lower is a representation of if the shaft is stiff or if the shaft is soft.
That's what people associate it with.
Which is not the case.
Right.
As materials have become more advanced, they no longer have to mask the stiffness with torque. Now you can separate the two. You can add a little bit more torque. Torque really not having an influence on the shot itself, but more the feel associated to the shot. So depending on how a player likes to feel the shaft, somebody may like to feel the shaft really quite stiff, and then you look at their delivery and you go, you don't need a stiff shaft. But I'll put you in a lower torque shaft, so at least you feel like you've got a stiffer shaft, but I get you into the bend profile.
It's a great little fitting tool, isn't it?
It is. And it's something that really requires deep knowledge of what's on the wall, so you can go up and down in the torque ratings anywhere from 2.5 up to 5.5.
Right.
You've got to know where you pick your battles in there.
It is an interesting little topic, isn't it? Okay, we're going to go for a little speed round here.
Okay, my man.
Dave put this in. This is interesting. I haven't seen this, but Dave said something about a pair of shoes that Nick Faldo's endorsing that says it's supposed to add more speed. Dave, we're going to look that up.
Faldo is on a bad trajectory, I think.
He was doing a PGA Superstore ad the other day that I saw. It looked also pretty
It just
bad.
seems like he's really trying to add his name to a lot of things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen these shoes, Dave, but color me curious.
Podrick Harrington once said, those, do you ever get high-tech shoes over here?
No.
You ever hear those? So in the UK, there's a brand called High-Tech, generally, a slightly cheaper running shoes, I think.
On the poopy side,
On the poopy side. So Podrick Harrington wore this High-Tech golf shoe and it had a really wide sole. And
I remember those.
He said it gave him like 30 extra yards.
Oh my God.
Because he was able to swing so much faster without losing his footwork, which...
Come on, Patty.
Again, I don't think that's the case.
Seems a bit confused. All right, from Blake. What is the per club swing weight decline, if any, for AMT shafts? Ascending mass technology shafts?
What is the per club swing weight? So there's...
Shouldn't be.
There's not. Yeah,
unless they've been built horrendously?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Blake, that would be a no unless somebody doesn't really know what they're doing.
Because obviously as the shafts are decreasing in weight, the heads are increasing in weight, and you're not necessarily going to get a decrease in swing weight, a significant decrease. You want a little decrease, you want a little progression from, call it the 4-iron, all the way to the pitch and wedge, but if your AMT is starting at 112, 4-iron, 115, 5-iron, 118, 6-iron, and going all the way up to the 130 region, then you definitely want to offset a little bit that head weight. But 3 grams in the shaft versus 7 grams in the head, you need 9 grams of shaft weight to change a swing weight. You need 2 grams of head weight to change swing weight.
Right.
So the influence and the difference is so
It's less
minuscule.
so. Good. Lovely. Joe is asking thoughts on blending 716 AP2s with 716 TMBs.
Yeah, I mean, I actually spoke to a few people on this recently who said they have blended TMBs with APs and stuff like that and said it hasn't went well for them.
Loft or offset?
Just said they've struggled with the TMBs. I've never actually personally hit a TMB, but I've had that conversation with a few people recently who said they enjoyed the AP2 or I think it was somebody said they had CBs, and they said they just didn't hit the.
You're better off going like, I know these are older models, but would you just go AP1 instead because it's a similar family? Now you'd go T100, T200, I guess.
Or T1s and T100S.
Titleist is pushing those T200s, eh? I saw a lot of ads
It's good.
specifically just for that iron. Do they do okay in here?
They do well, yeah. They
maximum impact?
They fly well. Brent has
Brenty.
ball position and striking videos are awesome,
Good,
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Swapped his Golf Pride white tour wrap for different grips. Tried since it almost had a hole in one with 5-way. Thank you. Awesome, great to hear. Yeah, that's a sneaky one, that tour wrap, the white tour wrap, because of the dye in there making it so heavy.
Yeah. So that helped.
It's a bit of a sneaky one. Sometimes it raises the balance point and obviously takes away the feel of the head a little bit. Some people, that's a good thing.
For Brent, it was not. All right.
Did we get we didn't get Jasper, did we?
Nope. Fire Jasper in.
Jasper, if I shorten my Rogue Hybrid shaft, will it flatten the lie and remove the draw bias?
Great question.
It's a good question, isn't it? To see whether those two are associated. It will effectively flatten. It will play flatter effectively. Is it likely to remove the draw bias? I would say no. I would say the amount that you offset it will be still probably not enough if the driver is a little bit hooky for you, Jasper. So
Gotcha.
I would say unlikely, my friend. But you could try a few other things. You could try going a fraction heavier, a fraction stiffer, and putting a bigger grip on there. Potentially those things could help. You could put a little bit more head weight into the toe, maybe hot melt into the toe, slightly bigger grip if you are turning it over. There are probably 5 things you could add to make it a little bit less draw biased.
One of many.
One of many.
Lovely. Okay. We just off the cuff, we're talking about doing a tournament in Orlando at some point. We got to stop doing that on lives. Because the number of questions about when is it? Can I book it?
The date has been set.
I know, it's the border isn't even open. We really need to be more careful about stuff that we say. Don't take it as we want to do it, but I can't plan it right now. How could I possibly plan it? We can't even go there.
We want to gauge interest. That we use the lives for things like this to gauge interest, to see whether it's even something worth doing and that sort of thing. I think we're all very hopeful that travel will commence kind of September, October at time. That'd be nice.
But keep your ears open. So. Yeah, keep your ears open. We want to do it, but we don't have any details if you're asking. There are no details.
Book your rooms now.
Advanced ticket sales.
Don't miss out.
All right. Here we are. Morning, lads.
Morning, lads.
Morning, lad.
Morning.
Will a 2-gram weight for my TS3 driver take my swing weight from a D3 to D4, or should I buy the plus 4 gram?
Yeah, 2 grams changes the head weight by 1, so yep, it will.
Question answered. The plus 2 will do.
Yes. Swing it. Al de la Rogue White 130 MSI 70X versus hazardous smoke, control stability, launch. No guarantees on the launch with either one. That's going to be how you react to the flex and the weight. Control, maybe. Depends, your speed. Depends if you're going to lose control because the 70 gram X is too much. Maybe the 60 gram stiff is more what you're capable of handling. And then maybe on the other side, if you are a quick swing, you've got fast transition, the weight and flex will help. There's variables to that make that a really tough one.
You must demo.
You must try it. Yeah,
you must.
Unfortunately, that's not something, without knowing something about the swing delivery, you can't possibly answer that.
Yeah. I do believe, Swing It, that you are a member. So if you're able to send in data to us, then do so. So Big Al, did you see Big Al's video on the weekend?
Are they doing something off his knees?
Yeah, so he texted me. He's like,
hitting golf balls.
I'm going to do this thing off. I'm like, dude, I've never even done that before. Never even tried it.
That's hilarious.
I don't think I can do it. I will try one off camera. If I can do it, fine. But I don't think I can do it. He hit it like 300 yards. He had to like put knee pads on and do it. He lost me there.
He's so funny.
He lost me with the knee pads.
Pat G is saying, I noticed while watching golf yesterday that PGA Superstores across the US are giving free fittings. Are you worried about this?
No.
Well, there are no PGA Superstores in Canada.
That's true.
We are in Canada. The border is shut, so people can't come anyway.
Yep.
If somebody feels like they want to go to a PGA Superstore and go for that type of fit, crack on.
Yep.
If somebody wants to hang fire and come and see TXG when the borders reopen, we'd love to see you, and we know it'll be worth your while.
Absolutely. Have we done a video on the change different thickness grips make? Yes, we have. We've done 2, but watch the more recent one because it's a lot better.
I don't know what that is. No, I don't know what that is. I'll answer the question. How much spin is my old Vokey robbing me? 100 rounds. I wouldn't say it's necessarily robbing you on every shot. I would say it's going to become inconsistent in the spin that it produces. So, you know, I've tested numerous old wedges that spin occasionally quite good, and then all of a sudden you'll see some funky things from it. Again, I always look at the milling between the grooves to see how worn they are. If you know, lots of bunker shots and lots of range balls and things like that have worn those away, then definitely the spin will be a lot less. So, I mean, you know, 10%, maybe 10, 15% on spin, it would be a fair enough guess. Grab here from Dave. What happened to Larry? Dave Fogel's asking.
You're going to have to be more specific, Dave.
Larry David? Larry
I'm
Chung?
assuming he means Larry Chung. No, I'm also going to say you have to be more specific about Larry Chung, too.
I know.
Larry is building a simulator studio in his new house. I don't think he wanted to film until he got it done.
Right,
so if you're wondering why he hasn't been making videos, I believe that's the reason.
He is, he's got a fair old project. I think in the next 2 weeks the simulator is going to be done, and then
good.
I think Swing Catalyst is in a couple of weeks after that.
Oh, did he decide on that?
Yeah.
He's going to do it?
Yeah. So
yeah, stay tuned. He'll be back.
He'll be back. He's taking a wee rest.
Okay, from Stuart. Stuart plays. Okay, so he's currently playing Ping I-20s. I-20s is an iron? I-200s? I-20s on an iron, is it?
Used to be, yeah.
Okay. Project X 7.0 he's going to X100 and 620 CBs. He's hitting them long left and shanking them. Oh, that's a bad combination. Due to compensating for old misses, question mark? Maybe. Large swing weight change, taking some time to adjust. Is that common? There's a lot going on there, Stuart. A lot going on there.
I mean,
aren't those heads like night and day different? An I-20 would have been...
An I-20, I mean, if you look at an I-210, it's almost identical. An I-20 was. It's very, very similar.
See these bad boys here?
You know, we would need to know what the differences are, the length differences, the swing weight differences,
oh, yeah, I remember those.
You know, grips, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, a Project X and an X100 is quite the change.
Yes.
Quite the change. PX70s are super stiff, and X1s are a little bit softer than PX70s.
Fair enough. Okay, that's a good one to
Very
take
different.
Here. Keenan's asking, suggestions for a more forgiving iron that are close to traditional lofts. I hit the ball far but not as consistent. Great question. So some forgiving irons that have traditional lofts, you can look at retrospect Ping I500s.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Hanma TWX were fairly traditionally lofted, if I'm not incorrect.
TWX is 28 on the 6-iron, so kind of, yeah,
I mean,
standard,
right?
you know,
standardish,
modern sort of loft for a 6-iron. You know, 26 is kind of the new strong,
yep,
isn't it? I mean, obviously T100 is not in the forgiving range, sure. But it is traditional in loft at 30.
It's not forgiving, it's just not that forgiving.
Yeah, you could look at something like an Epon 305. You could look at a Mura 301. Both of those are slightly larger heads, but traditional lofts that
MMC
are really, really
Mizunos,
nice.
is that a decent
28,
option?
they're at 28.
Same kind of
so,
deal?
you know, you could even weaken them a little bit.
Lovely.
Yep. Grab Band of Golf, trying the third time G410 versus the Callaway 3 Diamond. Both good heads, both really, really good heads. I would say expect the spin profile in the 3 Diamond to be a fraction higher. I'm not sure which 3 Diamond it is, if it's a Maverick or if it's an Epic Flash.
We'll assume it's Maverick. Can you buy those yet?
You can in some places get them, yep. I would assume it maybe it'd be Epic Flash just because of how much more readily available they were.
But the Diamond progression won't have changed, I'm assuming?
No, I
3
think
Diamond
it's
still means
still,
the same thing?
it's still a little bit of a higher spin profile designed to kind of launch.
I still find it really odd that they do all that stuff, Callaway. I just find it very strange.
I know.
There's so few of them. There's 3 different versions. No one knows where to buy them. No one knows what they mean. It's just, I don't know. To me,
and then
bizarre.
you kind of, once you start digging, you can see 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 diamonds.
It's just like, why? Why are you doing that stuff?
I know. It's tricky.
And you're not making it left-handed, which
is
I am
tricky.
morally against. You grabbed Brent's already, good. Let's grab a couple, little speed round action.
Okay.
There are a couple new members. David, welcome David. I did see another one. If I missed your name, I apologize, but welcome.
Where are you at?
I just caught up to where you had Jasper.
Okay,
there.
so if you keep coming down, I'm going to go to the bottom
Okay,
and
do
kind
it.
of see what's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. Do it.
Going to grab Matthew, who is a tall golfer, wrist to floor 39 inches. Past fit for a ½ inch over and 2 degrees up. New fit inch and standard lie. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, that would be the inch over and the standard lie is relative to your ball flight, so I can't comment on that one. But the inch over at your height and wrist to floor, not a surprise you're an inch over at all. I think that
Maybe
sounds,
just didn't go upright because he wasn't meeting the ball flight
sounds
adjustment.
pretty good.
Good, lovely. Jose's asking about ways to get higher launch in his long irons. So what are some ways you recommend people get their long irons flying higher?
You can go with a combo set that produces a little bit more velocity.
So a lower CG, hotter head?
Hotter head, both of those things. Yep. So, you know, Strix and we always like to have the option to go 585, 785. That's a really good option.
Perfect example.
Yep. You know, you can. That's you get T200, T100.
Should someone
combo.
keep an eye on their golf ball in case they're playing the type of ball that just can't be flighted that easily in the longer irons? Or are you working kind of backwards in that case?
Yeah, I mean, probably on that index more on the wedges and scoring clubs than kind of what it's doing so much in the longs.
Because you don't hit that many long irons anyway.
Not too many, and you know, if someone's really struggling that much, you know, just do a Dustin Johnson, go to 2 hybrids.
So true. I mean, that's a guy that probably
I know.
never even thought about a hybrid, and now he hits them great.
How many things?
Hits them almost in the water though on the 68th hole or whatever. Did you see that?
Nah, I kind of turned it off.
It literally plugged.
Oh no, I saw that
saw
one.
that,
Yeah,
right?
that was. I saw the highlight of that one. He
But-
had no business hit. Yeah, for
No,
that to stay out the
But
water.
the thing is, he got a crap break on the hole previous. He was out of bounds by like a quarter of an inch. And
I
then
know.
So I mean, it balanced out just fine. I can grab one.
Grab one, go for it.
From Daryl. Daryl is current. No, I feel like you. No, you didn't take this. Okay, UST Pro Force V2. You didn't take this, did you? In his M5.
Yes, I got that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Pardon me.
Mitch Grassing, former finalist in the World Long Drive, is asking anything from Patterson shafts in your inventory. We do actually have Patterson shafts in our demo matrix. We have one set in our demo matrix that's currently in the Mississauga matrix. So you know, we look to do a little bit more testing with those in the next little while.
Lovely.
Can we grab one?
Yeah, please.
Let's see here. Larry's having a haircut apparently. I doubt it. Highly doubt
I also
it.
doubt it.
I think that's probably a joke.
He probably needs a haircut.
Pete is asking, possible video of toe hang mallet putters. Have we done?
We have
We've
that.
probably done short slant spider
Yeah.
before, haven't we?
Toe hang mallet putter.
Yeah, like a little Euro
Yep.
spider.
I'm sure we did something in there.
We would have done that.
It was mentioned. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Peter, it was mentioned in our putting videos, mallet versus blade. So
I
it's
kind of
definitely
have like an inkling to do that triple track golf ball and
Yeah, you mentioned that.
and
we got to
whatever.
formulate some kind of an outdoor test.
Yeah.
That does it help you aim better, kind of thing.
Definitely.
I'm definitely curious about it. The whole sort of eye situation. In talking to Gareth about that, like how your eyes work and how you perceive aim, and then that stuff's pretty damn interesting.
I would say the day we go down to do some testing with Gareth, that'll probably be a
Be curious
short game and
curious
putter
what he
day.
thinks about it.
Yeah, because we obviously want to give our view on the technology and that sort of thing, but I want to hear his views on the technical side.
Because it's important to say, I mean, like obviously the putter is the putter, but you could put a triple track on any golf ball. I know it's Callaway's thing, but like you can get one of those little alignment deals and draw your own if you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I will grab a couple.
Go for it. Sorry, I'm just sending Vosh a little message here.
The Vosh. All right. Okay, we're talking about a 3 hybrid here. Atmos Black 9X versus Acra FX 2.0 300 M5. 6-iron swing speed 1 hundo. Angle of attack on the steeper side. So Atmos Black 9X in the hybrid or an Acra FX 2.0 300 M5. Very stiff.
On the steeper side, I'd probably go Atmos Black 9X
Lovely.
on that one.
Okay, Christian's asking, best 3-wood for a shallow angle of attack. Pretty decent swing speed. Best 3-wood for shallow angle of attack. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Angle of attack. What's good in there? I mean, still think the G410s have a nice little shallow profile.
TS2?
TS2, yeah.
Tell you what,
nice
the tour edge isn't a bad idea that we tested.
Yeah.
It was easy to hit off the
that got up there very easily, didn't it?
Very easy.
Very easy.
Very.
Yeah.
Dave kills me. So that confirmed. So it may still say slow mode for those of you that just joined, but it doesn't actually. If you're a member, you can just send messages.
Yeah.
A lot of people pooping on UPS, which is pretty funny. Okay, Luke. Luke is a high spin player looking for a low spin shaft. You won't find it for a Z85 driving iron. Okay, he's playing tour issue X100s in the irons, swings the 6-iron around 96. High spin player looking for a low spin shaft. Okay, well, we know the low spin shaft doesn't really exist, but what are some good driving iron shafts that Luke may enjoy as a X100 player?
As an X100 player, you may like to play. You may like a Hazardous 105 6.5. That's pretty strong. Graphite Design 105X is pretty stout as well. You can obviously Tensei White we have up in the wall, which is pretty stout. Tensei Orange 100X. No, 90. I think 90X is all that one goes up to. But stick to the heavier ones, and even, I mean, don't be afraid at times even to look at something, maybe even in the steel range. If you like even a little bit heavier, like a little C-Taper Light 115X, isn't a bad option in there as well.
Good. Let's make sure we hit the pause on any new questions because we're going to try to zip through a few prior to finishing.
I saw a note there from Tom Oliver. Guys, you missed my super chat. So Tom, we're coming, I'm at the bottom of the list, Matt's at the top of the list, and we're kind of meeting each other in the middle.
Find
so
it, Tom.
We'll get to it. If we haven't got to it, we will get to it.
Okay, from Martin. Martin has an R11 set. Assuming means like a full set, R11s. Okay, long irons, 5 and 4 irons. Not confident. Okay, good. And looking at M2 and M4 hybrids. Any other alternatives? Lots. Millions. Any hybrid, Martin, is going to be easier to hit than a 4 and a 5 iron.
No question. I mean, some of the ones we really like right now are, by the sounds of that, you're kind of shopping maybe in the second-hand market, the used market. So
couple generations.
Maybe like an 816 H1 by Titleist. That'd be a really nice one. A little CG cartridge that you can use on there. So a little wider body. I really like those. You've got the adjustable sleeve. I think that might be a really good option, and I know you can pick those up for a little
Good
bargain.
deal, eh? Yeah, good. To you, if you have one.
To me, there's a lot of chatter amongst the guys here. Let me see, TXG. They're all chatting amongst themselves. Calvin F9, Cobra F9s currently. Chance to get MC501s from a family friend. Will the switch be hard? It's obviously a big change, but I have seen people go to heads like the 501 Calvin and actually improve their ball striking just because that sole is a little bit narrower and the turf interaction improves so significantly.
Yep.
The one thing you will lose inevitably is a little bit of distance. The lofts are weaker in the Muras, and you've not got as much face contribution from the technology. But that aside, if you can handle taking an extra club or whatever it may turn out to be.
It's basically just the main difference, isn't
Absolutely. So, I've said Mura 501s are gorgeous irons. I would say, maybe ask him if you can try them for a few holes and see.
That's a good point. Take these to the range.
If he's a family friend, I'm sure he won't mind.
Yes. Okay. All right. Just replaced old Titleist DCI 990s with a combo set of EP2s and 620 MBs. Okay. And I just need to get an upgrade to my Callaway FTIZ. Is that a driver? FTIZ?
Yes, it was.
Any suggestions? A million suggestions. FTIZ was like a bigger, more forgiving driver, if I'm not.
A triangular, if I remember, yeah.
Probably a G410 candidate, Cobra Speed Zone candidate.
Yep.
Maverick Max candidate, perhaps.
There's so many. It's sometimes tough to kind of narrow it down. There's just so many good options out there. I think we're talking about, obviously that was a forgiven driver or intended to be. We were talking last night about, doing a video on the most forgiven drivers in the marketplace and
which ones can you miss-hit and get decent performance out of?
Absolutely, the best ball speed retention, the tightest launch and spin windows. That's important stuff. So we will have a video on that coming very soon.
Hang on and definitely watch that one.
Yeah, Stefan is asking, is there any downside of hollow body irons for the average golfer? Some players complain about jumping distances. Is this a common problem? Nope. The perception is that it's a common problem, but the stats would show that it's not as big a problem as people think. Over 60% of the time, golfers come up short of their intended target. That tells you that you actually need, to be hitting that a little bit further.
Awesome.
So, I think the hollow body irons are great. Two of our favourites are P790s and the Honma TWX. Two real nice ones. I think the Mizuno HMB is another really nice one. But I don't see that much downside, especially the 10 to 20 handicap range. I think, Stefan, if you're thinking about it, you are in the sweet spot.
Love it. From Christian. Christian's asking, does it ever happen that someone gets fitted in the studio but finds the indoor data does not translate to the course?
It does happen. Yeah, it absolutely does happen. The reality is the really good communicators amongst us tend to see it less. When people are in fits and they don't tend to communicate all that well, so I'll give you an example. If I'm in a fit and I'm trying different heads and shafts with someone, and then we get a really nice combo, and then all of a sudden they play it and they go, I don't like the feel of it. Well, it's still the same club as you tried in the demo. Did you like the feel of it then?
Right.
I just think that communication. I think the player has to assume some responsibility for the communication on field. 100%. We will assume the responsibility of establishing the performance criteria, but I think the feel aspect comes down to the player themselves dictating that, and I hear that all too often that it just doesn't feel the same on the course. Well, we've built it exactly the same.
The course is a different entity. You have to look at your personal performance, maybe the variable, right? You may be swinging a bit
that's
more
exactly
tentatively, or something maybe a little bit,
Well,
off.
look at your scenario, right? You tend to spin it more on the course.
Definitely.
So there's something you do a little bit differently, whether you are more tentative, whether you strike it a little bit lower in the head. You may tee it down a little bit more, in order to try and kind of squeeze it out there.
But I'll tell you that in the fit, and you're right. So
Definitely.
if I never told you that, it's not really your fault if I come back and go, oh, Ian, I'm spinning this too much. It's like, well, you should have told me that.
Ryan is asking, what do we think of his new set? He has Titleist T200s, 5 and 6, half-inch short.
Interesting.
And he has 7 to... Okay, so he's got T200s, 2 degrees strong, 2 degrees upright in the 5 and 6.
Okay.
Half-inch short. And then the 7 to 9, they're 1 strong and 2 upright. And the pitching wedge is 1 strong, 1 upright.
So there's a bit of a progression.
And 1 inch longer in the pitching wedge.
So the pitching wedge is longer than his 9-iron? Seems a bit...
Curious if that's something that was maybe just your own thinking, Ryan, that you kind of maybe thought you needed that, or was that... I've not really seen a set that looked like that before, where the wedge is longer potentially. I mean, the wedge effectively at that point is going to be longer than your 8-iron. If it's 1 inch longer and the other ones are short.
That's an issue. Aside from the length, I don't think anything else seemed that crazy there. I mean, upright a little bit more upright in the long irons made sense, and the loft progression probably fine. But that 1 inch longer, maybe he means the whole thing's 1 inch longer.
Maybe. I mean, your lofts are very strong if you're using T200s that are 2 degrees strong.
Must be hitting a high ball.
Must be hitting a high ball. Indeed.
Okay, so we need to officially go for a super speed round. It begins now.
Okay.
Jamie. Graphite Pro Launch Blue, stiff shaft, work well for me in multiple drivers and fairway woods. Okay, is there a similar modern shaft? So Pro Launch Blue was pretty damn popular, I remember that. Anything kind of in that similar window, doesn't have to be from that many. Do they even make shafts anymore, Graphite?
Yeah, they still make them. They're maybe for the kind of the smaller shops.
Okay.
They're obviously a bit cheaper, and you maybe get them from the golf works of the world.
So the blue was a tip soft profile, I'm assuming.
Tip stiff, very tip stiff. The blue,
I thought the red was the lower launch one.
So you had Pro Launch Blue and Pro Launch Red.
Oh, this is different.
This is different. So Graphite Blue was before the Pro Launch version.
Oh no, sorry, he did say Pro Launch.
Oh, is it
My
Pro
bad.
Launch Blue?
Yep.
Yeah, so
sorry, he said Pro
was.
Launch, my bad.
So that was a really unique shaft, low torque but pretty soft in the tip section. So like an Acra TZ6 basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, would be quite similar to
Good.
that.
Okay, Liam, what would be the difference between Project X 6.5 hard stepped and Project X 7.0 other than weight?
The 7.0 is still a good bit stiffer.
Okay, lovely. To you?
Question: who in the golf industry would you most like to meet, past or alive, that you haven't met, and why? You go first on that one.
The golf industry?
Yep.
It's a bit of a tough one.
Or
Not
just golf,
players?
golf in general. Just, whole golf. Who would you like to meet that you haven't?
I think it'd be fun to hang out with someone like Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Seems like a person that I have a lot in common with. I'm not going to say Tiger Woods because everyone's going to say Tiger Woods. Obviously, I'd like to meet Tiger Woods, but
he's obviously...
I'll be more realistic because I probably won't meet him.
Who would I want to spend time with and why? I would love to spend some time with Butch.
Oh, I didn't think you'd say that.
Yeah,
Really?
I'd love to spend some time with Butch because obviously coming from the time when his dad winning the Masters, playing at the same time as like Hogan,
It's true.
and that sort of thing, and obviously him coming up and his brothers being sort of just immersed in the game, and between them they've got so much information. Claude Harmon now, obviously what he's doing with Brooks and DJ. I mean,
It's true.
the lineage is quite remarkable in the golf industry, and I'd love to chat with them about how they feel like the game, because it has evolved so much, technology, and Butch is a Foresight ambassador, and
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he uses obviously launch monitors. But when I was talking to Gary Woodland about it, I was like, so what do you and Butch work on? What numbers do you work on? And he started laughing. He's like,
there's no numbers.
He's like, we don't work on numbers.
That's hilarious.
He's like, we don't really reference the numbers when we get together. We're working in some other things.
Different style, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd love to, as someone who's grown up in the launch monitor, data analytic era, I'd like to learn a little bit more about, what he learned with his eyes.
I think that's a great little one. Didn't think you'd say that. Okay. Cobra F9 9-degree driver with a stock Atmos 6R. Okay, swinging 100 to 105 miles an hour. That is too soft. Too soft. Shaft suggestions. Probably look at something secondhand that's more in a stiff. Weight range is fine, but stiff, right?
You might be able to sneak into a nice little hazardous yellow or something like that.
Just grab one maybe secondhand for
little 65 gram or 63 grams 6.0.
Probably grab one for like under $100 if you grabbed a pull. Okay, go for it.
Band is asking, any club fitter recommendation for the UK since the Canadian borders are closed in and around the London area?
Excuse me?
2 around there are fantastic. Precision Golf are brilliant. The boys, James and Simon, who run the show there, are top notch. Jason McNiven also at Golf Principles is good as well. Yep, J-Mac is excellent.
Good. Alex is asking about a driving iron that doesn't show too much of the back section. So basically, nice clean top line driving iron that doesn't have the back piece visible at address. Say P790 UDIs don't show the back.
And Titleist U500.
Yeah, the 510 you will see the
small
back.
one. Yeah.
The 500 is a really nice looking one too, Alex. Either of those you'll love.
Is Jason saying hang fire? That's a new one for me.
Hang fire. Ian said that about 300 times since I've met you.
Is that not a Canadian?
Not really.
Part of the
Canadian vocabulary? I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then again, to be honest with you, sometimes you have sayings that I just assume the context of. So if I didn't know what the context, I might not know what you mean.
Oh, Bandit's got permission to go to the Florida get-together, so bring it on.
Bandit.
Lovely.
Okay. Grant is asking differences between the Epic Flash Sub-Zero and the F9. The Flash Sub-Zero is a little lower spin, I think, unless you really move the weight up on the F9. F9 doesn't have heel and toe adjustability either.
Difference between Flash.
But other than that, you're not looking at a ton of different things. I mean, they're similar. They're geared towards a similar player. As long as you have the F9 in the lower loft, the 9-degree F9 is kind of like that.
I think you might find that the Flash was a little bit more friendly on off-center strikes.
Okay.
I think the F9, you could see some potential.
Yeah, they did a better job with that in the new
drop-offs.
Why don't you grab one there?
Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I'm going to try and meet you in the middle. If I can. Are we all caught up? Probably Michael is saying he plays graphite because of elbow pain. Have you had success fitting customers with pain into steel iron shafts, maybe inserts? There are a few, Michael. The Elevate range with the VSS, the vibration suppression system, has that. You've got the ProSoft inserts as well that offer that. The grip is another overlooked part of sort of dampening that vibration. So something like a CP2 Pro is very good at absorbing a lot of that vibration and feedback.
Nice.
So some good options, Michael. I think they would all contribute a little bit.
Jamie is asking about going for a long game fit tomorrow. Anything I can do to help the fitter and be a good customer? This is an easy one. So we chatted a little bit about this half an hour ago. Communication is obviously numero uno in your books.
Yes,
in terms of getting your fitting, getting the most of your fitting. Jamie, we do have a video on that too that was about half hour long with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So you do have time before your fit tomorrow. I'd check that out. But
do that.
In short form, tell the fitter as much as you possibly can without obviously being, long-winded or neurotic and wasting your hour with too much banter. But you need to tell the person what they need to know about your game so they can understand how you.
I think that's a very good point. There is a balance there between
has to be a balance.
Not drowning someone in the information about the shaft that worked best for you in 2008.
And you're like, wow, that's great for you.
So, okay, well, we're 12 years on.
They don't make those anymore, actually.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
But I think good feedback as you go along. If you feel stuff, heavy, light, soft, stiff. You may feel the strikes low in the head, whatever. Communicate that sort of stuff. The reality is the fitter probably sees the same thing.
Yeah.
But you're sort of if you emphasize that as well, that you also feel it's important.
Good.
JMac1313 is saying, would a stiff TZ6 tipped 1.5 inches be okay in a TM Original 1 Mini? That's a good question. That TZ6 is a sneaky one for that, because we were talking, it was a panel of club fitters over the lockdown period, and we're talking about TZ6, and obviously the bend profile of that being a little bit softer in the tip section, a little bit lower in torque, and guys were finding that they were hitting it with super low spin. But what was kind of interesting as it came out of the conversation is the guys who found it to be super low spin were guys who were tipping it a lot.
Oh, okay.
So the shaft being super tip soft, once you cut away at the soft part of that, the low torque and the stiffer progression of that club lead it to actually play a lot stiffer than that.
Okay.
Right, so Cameron Champ being, one of the guys, so, he went from TZ6, I think he was in a Fujikura Tour Spec 8X or 7X or something.
Yeah.
And then he broke that. I think he went to an Acra TZ6, and then he went to the Hazardous Green, Smoke Green.
Yeah, that's right.
So a really odd kind of TZ6 to add in the mix with those other two much more tip stiff shafts. So if you cut too much of that tip section away, you can change that shaft considerably. So J-Mac, be careful with that one. But how much you tip it, or you will end up making it really stout.
You're doing something that the shaft manufacturer didn't intend, basically,
Exactly.
Right? Okay. This is a good one, just from our pal Neil. So Neil got fit for some new irons. He got Ping I210s, AW at X-Flex, mid-grips. Go get fit, he says. We agree. Stop looking at the pretty clubs. He peered every shot.
Nice. Good to hear.
Good, Neil.
Justin, 7-iron yesterday was 92 club head speed, ball speed 121. Very nice. That's a nice little efficient ratio. Spin was 7,000 with 19.7 carry using dynamic gold. Is the spin too high? It's a little bit on the high side, Justin, to be spinning it at 7,000 and 19.7 launch. I mean, if you like the X100, I would say maybe look at the golf ball to spin a little bit less. Maybe have a look at something that offers you some different options with the golf ball. Maybe a Pro V1. So something a little firmer in the cover, a little softer compression will come down on the launch and come down in the spin.
Cam was playing that Pro V1 when I played with him.
Right.
He was hitting it good.
Yeah.
Because he can spin the ball a lot.
Oh man, he can spin it a lot.
It was better for his irons. His irons were getting through the wind nice.
He gets pretty steep in those wedges and starts kind of ripping them off the green. And if he does get a little bit of right to left on it, he kind of spins them sideways.
It was a good ball for him.
Yeah.
He hit some good irons. Tom, we have found your question. Lovely.
Hey Tom.
Tom is playing AMT S300 in his irons. They're 1 inch long. His foreiron is 39.5. Recommendations for shaft weight and length in his U85 3-iron, which is a driving iron. Shaft weight and length / a shaft model that you might enjoy. So AMT S300s were what, like 115 gram type thing?
AMT's 118 in the 6-iron. Recommendation for shaft weight and length on my U85, so 112 in the 4-iron, so 195. It was a stiff he's currently using, yeah. So I'd go with something like a Graphite Design DI 95 stiff.
Perfect.
Be
Anything
nice.
In the lower end though? He is asking. I'm assuming that
lower
is
end
not
price
cheap.
point.
Yeah, something a little more competitive.
Probably hazardous if you're going to go stock on those particular shafts. Hazardous, even an 85 6.0 would be fine.
I'm going to take that from Dave. Dave's asking about Discord for the bronze level. Yes, Dave. Yeah, every level of TXG membership you can get on the old private chat server with your fellow golf enthusiasts. Pat G's asking about other golf creators that we watch other than Larry and Tyler for instruction. Doesn't really do a ton of YouTube yet, but Gareth Rafleski is one that we definitely keep an eye on. So he does a lot of Instagram now, but I'm helping him get his foot forward on the old tube soon. So if you want to check out some good short game and putting, that is the guy.
And yeah, Gareth, obviously, as you guys know, helped us with some
check out
videos
his
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So have a look at his membership, $13 a month.
In Canada, $9.99 in the
Beautiful.
States. Yeah. We've got
guys, I think that's great value. I mean,
we have a ton of videos. Not a ton of videos on there already.
If you're on there for a couple of months and can watch the videos and rewatch them and implement them and practice them, I can't think how you could spend $20 better in the US or $26 in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get into that for a few months, is there a minimum time period where
No,
you can
do a
be
month if
to
you want.
month?
Do whatever you want.
I would get in there for a couple of months, guys. I would get in there, and I'm going to do it myself. 100. I can't get down to London to see Gareth
I'll get
enough.
you a deal.
I
know a guy.
I'm definitely going to do that. I was thinking about it over the
Dude,
weekend.
he did such a good job. So I was editing all the clips for him, and honestly, a lot of them are between 1 and 2 minutes.
Beautiful.
And he was asking, like, are these too short? I said, no, because the best thing someone can do, watch that 2 minutes on your phone, go work on it for half an hour. Watch another one, go work on it for half an hour. So, Gareth's thing is extremely good. I'm obviously biased because I filmed them, but they were really good. They were really
100%. Guys, I want to just take a quick second. I know we don't have too long left here. Just to address a post we put out on Saturday.
That was tough, eh?
For a friend of ours who passed away, and we posted it on our social media and on Instagram specifically. There was a lot of names, so I looked at the people who sort of donated to Cara's fund for Cara's son Max. Friend of ours, was unfortunately taken, killed, and we over the weekend started a little campaign for our followers to maybe donate, if it's $1, if it's $5, whatever you can afford to the fund for young Max. We're trying to kind of secure the future for her son, and the whole golf industry is doing what they can. It's on the GoFundMe page.
So the link can be found. What's the easiest way for someone? Should they go to Accra?
If you literally go to GoFundMe.com and you type in "Future for Max."
Okay, and it's on our Instagram also.
So on our Instagram, you can go find it in our Instagram. But GoFundMe.com, Future for Max. You'll be able to read a little bit about the story and how tragic it is. It's a real tough one, and any little bit of support that can go to securing the little man's future. All the money's been put into an educational trust, just to make sure that there's going to be sort of no barriers to kind of Max's life and what he has in front of him.
College that he wants to get into and stuff like that. So,
he's looking at a pretty tough start now, as a 4-year-old, but just for everyone who did donate over the weekend, thanks. It really means a lot to us. Cara was a friend. She was our point of contact to Accra. We got together with them anytime either you and I were up there. It was PGA show, whether it was between Tracy and her talking on the phone every other day when we're buying stuff or addressing our account.
I know.
So it was something that really hit us awfully hard. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. I know we have I think no more than 1 or 2 left, and then we're going to get to our filming schedule for the day. I think you're caught up here. You got Calvin's. You got Tom. We got yours. Good. I'm glad we did.
I think we're up to date. I've got one here from Brady. It's TaylorMade still releasing P760 50 replacement this summer, fall, T100 or wait and find out. I think you'll be hearing something in the next few weeks on that one. I haven't heard anything. I can know a little bit about it, but I haven't heard it exactly on a date. But I know there'll be some irons, being teased there and social media over the next little while.
Gotcha. You didn't get this one from Jarrell. I hope I'm saying that right.
Let's see.
Okay, so Jarrell's getting fit. Mizuno stock JPX 919 forged with custom shafts. I don't know anything specific about that. They changed their offerings, is that right?
For this week. But bummed. Oh, so no. So the 919 is just about to be replaced.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they're out of there. Gotcha.
I
mean, there must be somewhere you can still get fit for them. Maybe just not at Mizuno.
No, they're no longer available.
Just gone.
So Mizuno, they sent an email just asking us all to pull them from the drawers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because they no longer have stock to fulfill them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sold. Okay.
Sold.
All right. What would be a different option? So obviously, 585, 785 is a great recommendation.
It's a great one. Yep.
Cobra Forge Tech is a different animal, I would say.
A bit more P790ish.
Probably wouldn't be one for you.
Yeah, I would say maybe get into even a T100S.
Would be smashing.
MP20 MMC would be a nice one as well.
Good. I think we did miss this from David. David was fit last year for plus plus length irons.
Yeah, half-inch.
Standard length lie, okay, in the wedges. Oh, so standard length and lie wedges, but long in the irons. Struggling with strike and shanks with the wedges. So he's slightly above 6 feet.
Yeah.
Should the wedges be a little longer, generally, if your irons are? Seems a bit of an uncomfortable jump from pitching wedge to gap if you... I mean, if he was +1 or plus half an inch, it's not a ton, but
no,
some.
that doesn't sound right to me.
So
sounds like, you know, the shorter can lead to a little bit of a motion to go down and get the ball. I'd certainly like to see someone, if anything, you know, I would gravitate towards slightly longer wedges, as in like, you know, gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge for taller players, all being the same length.
As like the pitching wedge or something like that?
As the gap wedge normally,
As the gap
yeah,
wedge.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just going to welcome Peter, new member. Welcome, Peter.
Peter.
Okay, I believe we are going to kick our day off here. You got Brady's. Hey guys, busy one today, so we're appreciative that everyone signed in. Sorry if we missed your questions, but we did our best. Calvin's. Thank you. Yep,
Thank you,
appreciate
Calvin.
That, Calvin. That's
my man.
very generous of you.
My dad knew RTX wedges. Whatever do you mean? Don't know what he's talking
I
about.
actually
there.
left them sitting in the background. They're right
Oh,
beside,
did you?
they're beside my arm here. They're blurred out enough we won't get blacklisted.
We may have heard about something along those
Well,
lines.
apparently everybody's heard about it, so it's not like it's that big.
Oh well, we'll be hitting them in about 10
I
minutes.
know, I know. Yeah, you'll see that video later. We can release it as of
Yeah.
like tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been using them for about maybe a month, maybe even 6 weeks. I tested them first. Loved them. Really, really impressed with how they performed. We're going to do
Mikey
some.
hit some too, didn't he?
Mikey hit some. He sent me a message like, "WTF are these?"
I was loving
you
them,
guys understand what that is. So he's like, I've been doing this all day. I think it was last Monday. He
Yeah,
said
he was playing golf at his club,
Yeah, he was
wasn't he?
playing golf at his club, and he was. I gave them to him to hit, and he was blown away by how good they were, the new Rotex wedges. So, aye.
Good.
There's one there. Missed my super chat. I guess somehow I'll
Throw it
figure
in the
this out.
comments and I will get it tonight. I
Yeah,
promise.
I don't know how we end up missing.
Sometimes they don't come in with. Anyway, if we did miss it, put it in the comment and I will cross-reference it with your username and I will get it later today.
Little schedule for the week.
Couple more fairway wood brackets.
Oh yeah, a couple more fairway brackets.
Mystery wedge test.
Ooh.
God knows what it might be.
Who knows?
You want to do a little. What was the other one?
We have the Hogan Icon irons.
Ian's hitting some
Holy
sexy
moly.
blades. Where are those?
Wait till you see this. Have you seen them? No.
I've seen them online. I haven't seen them in person.
Oh, wait till you
did
see
you?
this.
Which finish?
Unbelievable.
The sexy finish. Ian is stoked. Clearly, if he's going to grab them.
These are special.
Is this a live unboxing video? What's that grip on there?
A lambkin. It's like a Z.
Custom
Z5.
Hogan ones too.
Look at that.
Yeah,
How nice is that?
That is a thin sole. Mercy.
A thin V-sole. Look at that action.
So V-sole isn't technically patented, like other people can do it.
Apparently.
That's nice.
These are
And those are a
absolutely
tasty treat
gorgeous.
right there.
Look at
All
that
right.
little 4-iron.
I know that's wild. That's
Oh!
I'm going to make you hit that first. Ian will be hitting 4 irons with no warm-ups and no mercy.
Shank.
So that's happening.
That is happening.
We're going to make a driver video about different forgiving drivers that you guys might like to try in fittings.
Yep.
Not something we actually, believe it or not, have ever done. We did all the kind of lower spin heads, but we never did the big lads or the forgiving lads. So those are the 4 or 5 you will definitely see.
Yep.
There'll probably be a wild card in there somewhere that we'll decide on after
Wild
lunch.
card. Yeah, I think we had a few other.
We sprinkled in a few ideas.
Now I don't know. Is this call at 2 o'clock? Is this something that's scheduled as something like a video call that we can release the information on?
I don't know
or?
if Vosh is sending us the invite. I'll
Yeah.
ask him. I'll ask him.
There-
But if it is, then yeah, we'll let you know.
There may
Maybe
be-
screenshot a couple things.
There may be some info.
Phil, we can't do a close up on the irons. I've only got one camera going. We'll get you them for the video, but don't worry.
Yeah,
Never worry.
patience.
Never fear.
And if you really want to see a close up, they're on the Hogan website.
That's right. Yeah.
They're all there.
Okay.
They're gorgeous.
So let's get to filming. Good live, as always.
Yep.
Thanks
yep,
for tuning
thanks,
in.
everyone for tuning in. Looked like it was a slower start, but it looked like it got really busy
Spiked
in the
higher
middle
than
there.
usually, it really did. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Good as always.
Thank you guys. Have a great week. Stay in touch on Instagram, as we always say. We are now at 87,300. So can we tease what we were texting about last night about next week, what we will film next week for sure? Because it holds us accountable for filming it as well.
Give us some teasing. Yeah, sure.
Next week we will be filming the 100K giveaway. Announcement. What it is, what sort of the winner will get, how we're going to do the contest different this time.
I want name suggestions for it.
Oh, what?
Name suggestions.
Okay, name suggestions.
So the concept is basically, and we can't take this for many copyright purposes, it's basically like Extreme Makeover, if you remember that show. It's like Extreme Makeover for golf. It's literally every aspect of golf that you can imagine, you will receive a complete overhaul in, a life changer. So based on that concept, feel free to flood the comments with ideas. We may take one if you guys have one that we like. So that would be good. Because that's the one thing that sticks in my mind. I'm ready to film it, but I'm like, I really want to think of a name for this whole thing. So sprinkle.
It's going to be awesome. There's going to be lots of life-changing golf experience.
A life changer. I just feel like we already used the ultimate golf giveaway for the Mizuno thing, and at the time it was the ultimate giveaway. But this is better. This is better.
Well, I think the bandit. It might just make you do that, bandit. It might just make you do that. So yeah, by next week, based on our current run rate, if we're up to the mark this week and we get some more subs, and we should be at 90, I would imagine, by next week. Our run rate right now is about maybe 2,000.
It's 2.5 a week. Well, that's not true. It is about 2 and change a week.
Yeah, 2 and change a week. So we'll need a big week. We will need a big week on the subs. We'll push that through social and stuff like that, trying to get it. I would love it to be, as of next week, the first week in July, we start the momentum, the push for 100K. And
it won't be like a 9-month push. It'll be 6 weeks at most. 5 weeks.
To be honest, I think because of the way this contest is, I kind of expect us to get that 10K in a month.
And honestly, 10K in a month would be the minimum, because that's kind of what we've been doing anyway. Yeah. So yeah, that is exciting. Behold, excitement.
Good, excellent. We'll look out for that next week. We will announce. We'll announce what it is. Why don't we announce what it is on the live?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Then we can film the details of it on an actual video following the live, and then we can sort of give you guys the chance to apply.
Basically, well,
yeah. State your case.
Well, no, that's state. Anyway, whatever. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, be good.
You can enter.
Is there, Philip? Is there any giveaways coming soon?
No.
None for you, Philip.
Just kidding. All right. Shall we?
We are ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We will see you later.
Have a great week. Appreciate it.